Safety Committee for the City of Hudson to order on December 8th. Roll call. Lynn?
Here.
Hall?
Here.
Morset? Here.
It's weird to do that by yourself.
Yeah. Thank you. Approval of the November 17th regular meeting minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second, is there any further changes or corrections? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Number 4, under new business. Oh, let me back up. New businesses. I'd like to welcome Lynn Wakefield to the Public Safety Committee, and this is her first public safety meeting. So welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, Lynn.
You get to learn lots from all the departments of the fire, police, and the EMS.
That's right, you get to have everybody on speed dial.
So anytime you hear a siren, give them a call. I'm kidding.
You could say, I know the police chief.
And good luck with that.
Not that it does me any good.
Okay, 4A, Hudson Rotary River Dunk. Any issues with that, Jeff? They did a pretty good job. I know they got EMS slated as well.
Yep, they always have the separate changing areas, bathrooms, warming houses for people. I mean, this is a pretty well-oiled machine at this point for them.
Yeah.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion, concerns, Drew?
No, I think they requested our dive team possibly to be
Yeah.
on standby down there. We just haven't heard back from them yet, so.
Okay,
No, good.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item is the Go for the Badger Half Marathon. Jeff?
Same thing as in years past, do the parking up by Grandview Park. They shuttle the people back and forth on their little bus shuttles. That's been an enormous thing for the traffic plan because you don't have to worry about people parking all willy-nilly downtown. And it's a good thing for the safety issue too because you don't have all the people there. So all you deal with is the runners and they are pretty much on the paths.
Now, on this one, it shows they're on 35. Is that new?
I didn't study the map that close.
They're coming down Vine Street, going down first to St. Croix, or to Walnut Street, up, and then they go down 35.
The runners? Or is that the shuttle? That might have been a
That's
map of the shuttle.
probably.
That's the route to Grandview.
Yeah, so that's a map of the shuttle.
Okay, I just want to make that clear.
Yep,
'cause-
that is the route for the shuttle. That's
All
how
right.
they get back and forth to the Grandview
So
area.
they're not running on,
Nope.
but they are running across, and they've got that taken care of.
Yep.
Okay. Any discussion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Isn't that fun? Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Recommend approval. Hot Air Affair is next on our agenda. Did you want to speak, or if you want, you can certainly step to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, please.
Amanda Hine, Hudson Hot Air Affair. My personal address is 1907B Riverview Lane in Somerset. And so today, we just want to thank you for supporting Hudson Hot Air Affair. This is our 34th year. Most events die in between the 1 and 5 year mark. So the fact that we're at 34 and still ticking in is pretty amazing. For this year, we don't have any notable changes from previous year. We really, really liked the parking on one side of the street around the school. So on the school side, we didn't park on Freer, Hoyt, and Summer. 13th Street, which is on that west side of the school, we slotted it for no parking. People still kind of parked there. That one, because it's on that side of the school, we weren't attending it as high, but it really did not seem like it was a traffic problem on there. We'd still like to slot that as no parking on the school side all the way around. Allows us to be able to have room for you guys to get through for EMS and fire in case if there was an emergency, if we did need to. Besides, we always request your presence for EMS and fire on site, especially during in the parade. So when we're closing off the streets up on Vine and down to the dike, fire is usually in the parade and then part of the fireworks off of the dike. We usually have EMS inside the parade. And then on site for the Moon Glow being our premier event when we have the most people on site. It's always a hope that the balloons themselves can actually inflate. But if they can't, then we still have a candlestick. And so we always have that presence. And last year we did have a really, really amazing relationship with both the fire explorers and the police explorers. They were extremely amazing, very, very pleasant, and very easy to work with for as our gate guards on each side. So just making sure that the appropriate traffic is coming through, especially when people like to come through for the Moon Glow, and we have more handicap parking by the school, that we have an entire section that's slotted just for handicap parking. It allows people that may not be able to get out of their vehicle in the winter weather to still be able to view the festivities and have a good time.
Very nice. I don't believe the city received any complaints with the parking setup.
The one-way traffic as well, like we did last year?
We didn't do one-way last year. We only did one side of parking.
We talked about it, but
Yeah,
we
we
never-
talked about it, but the logistics, and it was a recommendation to see how the streets went, and we received no complaints for the first time ever, for parking, so, we would like, and that's always a big deal. But we didn't do the one-way because of the flagging that would be required for so many
Right.
intersections.
Okay.
If it is something that the city would require at some time, we would most definitely sit down and talk about it. But we had a great turnout without it really having a lot of hiccups last year. Also, the Methodist Church is going to be shuttling people. Last year they shuttled people. It was a free will donation, and they had like hot chocolate and cookies at the Methodist Church. And then people could ride share, and they brought them up. That worked out really good for them last year, and they're going to continue to do that again this year.
Very nice. I see Ruth and Evie aren't here, so they must have now handed the whole thing to you.
I have the torch officially, whether I like it or not. Ruth is somewhere much warmer.
Arizona,
She
right.
was playing, last I talked to her, she was going to be playing water volleyball. And so she wasn't able to attend the meeting.
She complained to me yesterday that it was too cold. It was only about 68 down there yesterday.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, I bet she did. She's been super, super amazing to still, she's still at a phone call away, still able to guide and coach me. There's a lot of things I don't know. This is my 4th year in Hudson Hot Air Fair, but it's only my 2nd year in a leading capacity. So there's so many unknowns, and it's so many moving pieces, so I really appreciate her cooperation and her
So
willingness.
far, so good.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Thank you. Any further discussion or questions?
So is parking on the residential side or on the school side?
We park on the residential side, and we leave the school side open.
Okay.
And it also helps with walking traffic as well.
Yes.
That's obviously the other reason. I mean, our biggest priority is being able to have emergency vehicles in and out of there. But it allows for the people to walk a little bit better. And we are going to continue, it's always snow permitting, that we made a lot both on the north side and on the south side of the field for people to park. And then we utilized explorers in there to help people park. Once people were guided on how to park within it, it works really well. You can't allow them to go willy-nilly so it requires a little bit of guidance, but it worked really, really well. We were able to actually park a lot of vehicles within, especially on the south lot. It worked really, really well.
Nice.
Good. Move to approve?
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll recommend approval. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Informational items. Chief Drew, there might be some, in the past, our chiefs has, at this point, even maybe a little earlier, have always said most people should change out their fire alarms and their carbon monoxide, so
Yeah, that kind of goes back with the change your clock, change your battery, right?
Yeah.
It's an easy way to remember it, change out your batteries. And I guess the big thing this time of year now is gonna be real Christmas trees in homes and businesses to make sure that they're watered. If they do start to lose their needles, it's time to go. That means that tree's dead to the point it's not taking water anymore, and they need to remove it. And unfortunately, candles become a real problem this time of year too. Everybody likes a nice candle, but that's a huge fire hazard. So just a reminder, if you're gonna have a candle, be around, attend it, and if you're gonna leave, put it out.
Yeah. Any other informational items? If not, we'll just keep going with you, Drew.
Sure.
Fire updates?
Yep. 46 calls a month of November, right on average. All our auto aid partners within the fire district, the townships all approved, much like the city did, approved a contract, so I'm getting signatures from them. That'll go live January 1. And just one thing I think we're going to have to watch, and I talked to Chief Willems about this, is Aspen Drive, the apartments down there, when they move out of their parking lots to plow. I came to work, whichever day it was after it snowed, and every single fire hydrant on Aspen Drive was blocked.
Oh.
They don't care. That is not one place that I would like to have a blocked fire hydrant with those apartment buildings down there. They were bumper to bumper to the point where you couldn't physically walk between them to hook a hose. So, and we talked about it. I know the officers went down there and, started doing what they have to do, but I don't know if, painting is not gonna work in the winter, right? It's gonna be plowed over. I don't know what the answer is to try to inform the residents of that, but it's,
Well, strong enforcement.
yeah, and that's what they're doing. But then, the next day you go by and it's the same thing happens, and I don't think people understand the severity if something happens, but something we're gonna have to watch.
Have those been shoveled out yet? The snow's not that high yet, but
Correct, yeah, they haven't. I'm not worried about that right now. There's no big snowbanks, but I couldn't believe how they parked.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy. So,
Yeah.
but we're working on it. But just something we're gonna have to watch.
don't park on the street, go park on the street, especially during a snow event. They're told to get out of the parking lots and then they get a ticket for parking on the street, it's. We'll try to work with those apartment.
I mean, if they're
Occupants
repeat
out there.
offenders, there should be no question. What we do, enforce,
Yep.
move on.
It's always been a problem up there.
Okay.
Is there another spot that they can park? There,
Nowhere close. It's all residential in there, and then business. There's no place they can go.
Yeah. Well, I'll meet with the apartment managers and I'll try to work out an agreement where wait until the street's plowed curb to curb, and then schedule your lot cleanup and then make sure your people aren't parking in front of hydrants or.
There is a couple corps up there like Conrad's or even Kroeger, maybe if the managers.
Wiseway, all those places. I'm sure
Wiser's
have
empty, yeah, so why,
Like I said, I
maybe
don't
they
know
could
the corner
reach
that
out
would
and
be
talk
parking,
with
yeah.
them, maybe get something set up that
Is
way.
this,
Reach out
is
to the
this
apartment.
overnight that they're parking, or is this during the day?
During the day. They're told to be out of the parking lot between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. so that
Oh,
they
so
can
then
do
it's
parking
overnight.
lot cleanup. So everybody
Yeah.
comes home from work, maybe 2
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning and then just park on the street right away. Well,
Yeah.
I haven't seen too many issues at night. There is a lot of people that park out there at night. There's more people living in those apartments, I think, than they have parking spaces for.
Yeah,
Not totally understandable. They just don't have the parking space. I'm sure they're charging for parking spaces, so you're not gonna pay for your second one. But,
hopefully we can work it out where we don't have to step in and say, you can't park on the streets until we're done. Keep your cars in your lot, something like, that. I don't want to go down that
figure
road.
something out.
Yeah. So,
And they've always been good about working with, so.
okay.
so that's it.
Any questions for Chief Drew? Chief Willem?
No real updates. The last traffic camera went in yesterday already? Yesterday. At 14th Street. So all 15 of those are up and operational. The last 2 permits from the DOT have been signed for the last 2 flock cameras to go up. Just today, had a hit and run at the intersection of Carmichael and Crestview. Went to the traffic video, watched the crash happen, followed the car on the flock cameras, got the license plate number, and had it solved in 20 minutes.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's kind of creepy Big Brother-ish, but it's been a huge asset for the community. The only other thing I want to bring up is Shop with a Cop. So we did our first annual our inaugural Shop with a Cop at Fleet Farm last night. We did 15 kids. That was co-sponsored with Fleet Farm by the Coca-Cola distributor and Monster. That was a good success. That will continue to grow. Tonight they're up there at Walmart doing 55 kids.
Wow.
So,
Good to hear. Yeah.
so those
Yes.
numbers continue to grow. We continue to get good donations every year to assist us with that. And the way it works is the companies and Burnix, Pepsi distributor works with Walmart, and then Coke works with Fleet Farm. So they both go in half and half, and then they get the gift cards for the kid. Each kid gets $50 or $100 or whatever to spend, and then having that money in ours, allows the kid to go to $125 or whatever. Go a little bit over. You don't have to say, oh no, you can't buy that from mom or dad this year. You have to put it back. So the donations help us allow them to go
Offset that.
over to be able to offset those costs. So that's a huge help. We did just get notified also yesterday that we did get awarded a $2,700 grant from the Hudson Hospital Foundation. That's for additional AEDs.
Oh, nice.
So we will again have every squad car equipped with an AED in it. And then working, we've got a couple more grants out there that we're waiting on to potentially get some more, so.
Very nice. Did
That'll be
you
good.
have a chance to compile office equipment / furniture lists?
I did. We looked at it, and again, it's like everything we have as far as furniture works for the time being. And it's a matter of how much money do we want to spend, even for refurbished stuff, spend $15,000, $20,000 on refurbished things just to keep for potentially another 5 years, right?
I
And
think-
and if the building doesn't end up going through, we've got other issues we're going to have to talk about. So
That's why I'd like to spread it out.
as far as equipment goes, that's all handled through IT. Our computers are all on a life cycle,
Yeah.
right? So we keep them for, 5 years, 6 years, something like that, and then he cycles those out. That's all through IT.
Present the list to us either way.
Okay, I can do that.
If we need to spread this out, we need to spread it out, but we need to know what you guys have. We want to make sure you're a functional, operating, moving forward police
Well,
department.
and that's the caveat to that is that we are almost fully paperless now. So as long as the computers and the infrastructure is up on that end, we're doing okay. We don't have, we have a lot of file cabinets that are still full. We're working with IT to get on that Laserfiche and get all that stuff transferred electronically. And once that happens, we lose our need for a lot of that stuff.
That's fine, so we can prioritize and move it forward.
That'll open up some space getting rid of the file cabinets.
Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll still have the file cabinets, but
Yeah,
they
no,
won't
but-
be chock full.
Any questions for Chief Willem? Any other business for future agendas? Any communications that need to be sent out? If not, I wish everybody happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Yes.
We'll see you next year, I think, if we don't have something in the middle of that. from now
Move to
and then.
adjourn.
Second.
We stand adjourned.
Okay.
I gotta get used to that.